Traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. All right, Green Day recap here, guys. We are finishing the day up $232.94. Of course, these are gross profits, right? In fact, I think today $10 was removed out of my total gains. I did go short about 6 to 8 times. I think that did play a role because usually when I'm trading just 42 times in a day, the fees are not that bad. Yeah, so VERU was the stock of the day. I don't believe we traded anything else. We had other opportunities. MACK was something I had on watch, but light volume. BWV ended up pulling back. And RBO didn't do much from yesterday. PEGY sold off pre-market and into the open as well. Didn't really hold up well. XNet likewise. So, VERU was the main watch. I do want to quickly mention before we jump into this recap. Today was one of the best performing days for the overall market in a long time. Just for those of us who are a little, let's say more focused on day trading, I think it's still important to mention, what's going on in the overall market. We had some CPI numbers today, and the numbers were better than expected, or rather lower than expected. Let me not say that. I actually didn't look. I didn't look at the data. But the market reacted well. That's all that matters. And we might have bottomed. We might have just bottomed. I guess that the bottom would have been a while back here on the 13th of last month. But there's no way of really telling. But we'll see what happens over time. But this is good. This is a welcoming sight for the economy and for us here in the small caps, because maybe we're going to see another bear market rally here, right? Anyhow, on to the day trading stuff, guys. Hit that thumbs up button. Be sure to like the video, of course. Subscribe if you are a new viewer, and yeah, let's jump into it. So VERU, we're going to take a look at some of the trades here on this stock. So the day started off like every other day, right? You guys know how it goes. We start off the day by looking at our gap scan and the continuation stocks from the day prior, right? Let's remove the show trades on here for a quick second. There we go. Yeah, so VERU. This thing was actually pretty decent. Now, it's worth mentioning we fell off a cliff yesterday. I thought it was an offering, but it seems like it was an rejection by the FDA for a new drug that the company was working on. And so a huge drop off, 66%, man. Swinging this would have been brutal. Or let's say getting caught in it. Maybe you got in for a pre-market after hour trade, and it did what it did. So that was brutal. That was tough. But that's how it goes. Day trading is risky. Investing is risky. Swing trading is risky. But I hope none of you guys out there got caught in this one. If you did, we just take the loss and we move on. It is what it is, But VERU opened up much lower today. It was halted all of yesterday, I believe. And so, we resumed at $5 from that high of 15. And, when we drop a ball from a very high place, it sometimes will bounce a little bit. And that's what's going to happen here. We went from a low of 511 to a high of 778, I believe. Yeah, so it presented opportunity, and the first set of trades for me came in this area here. Although I wasn't aggressive towards the scalps, these were the first couple of trades that were provided. It dips down here. I tried to buy the pullback. I believe I stopped out a little too soon. I missed the very first pullback, but then I catch it over here on this trade in this area here, and as it flushed down to a low of 630, I don't believe I touched it here. So 951, we can put those show trades on the charting again to get a better idea. Let's see. So we got long here, 2500 at 653. So I had stopped out of one of these trades initially. Let's see. Even this is not as clear. Sometimes better to go to the monitor screen. So the day started off with a low of 604. We ripped to a high of 38. It consolidates, and then it takes off to a high of 685, then it pulls back. So keep that picture painted in your mind once we come to the monitor screen here and we come down. So you can see I was watching this thing, my very first trade came as early as 6:15, and then I didn't touch it again until 6:70. What happened between 6:15 and 6:70 that I didn't touch the stock? It just was going up, and I didn't feel comfortable getting in. I feel like the entries that it was providing wasn't the best. So I waited, and unfortunately my first trade, I was a little too eager. I believe this trade should have been avoided. I said it to myself in my head when I got long and it started going against me. Like, I didn't give it a chance to really pull back. That was over here. We had a high of 85, low of 60, low of 58, and I needed to give it more time. Let's see, I needed to give the stock more time to pull back. This trade came at 9:36, so I lost $75 here on this candle right here, 9:36, and so I waited a little bit more patiently. I got in lower at, you can see here, so I'm in at 65, in at 63, so I take losses going down, in at 58, out at 56, another loss, and then finally I catch the bottom, which is at 50. I'm in at 51. The bottom is at 50, but I'm like, man, is it going to be one of those stocks that just continue to flush? Or let's say grind down. And so, I got out again, and 50 was the bottom. So I bought back at 53, and finally got a decent trade. I mean, right here, it's worth mentioning right here. So I'm in for 7 seconds, which is, for me, kind of long compared to a scalp trade. I'm out. This is now at 39. It bounces, right, 39. It bounces to a high of 75 and then pulls back here to a low of 50. And that's where I got in this time. You can see from 39, 2 minutes later. So I missed this first dip. All of this trading here to try to get this entry right here. All of this was me trying to get this entry. I get the entry. What do? I sell it too soon. Classic. So the second time it comes down, I'm a little bit more comfortable because I actually feel like, okay, 50 might just be the bottom. There's no way of really telling that, but I'm in. I'm selling at 52, 66, 66, 66, 73, 77, 76. This puts me back green after all these losses. And then we get back in here. Let's see, scratch trade. Small loss. We got back in at 32. This is a much smaller size. And we came out at 50. Let's see, this is at 951. So is this flush? Low of 50. Yeah, 951. We had a low of 630. So this was a great trade. But I didn't take it with size. It doesn't seem like I was comfortable. So I might have sized down for this trade. This is something I'm trying to get away from doing. If it's like, hey, if I have to use smaller size, maybe it's not worth taking. But I'm trying to find that balance on some of these, positions. So this is a great trade. I mean, this is a beautiful trade, man. This is a great trade. In fact, I want to watch. I can't remember this trade at all. 951. I think this one is worth pulling up the live stream for. I cannot remember this trade. Sometimes the day is like, there's so much going on, you kind of forget. Guys, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you're a new viewer, consider subscribing. We're going to jump to 951 here on live stream. Watching these low. Oh, let's mute it. 51. 54, we got to go back. Okay. Oh, this was a short. Okay, why did I read that so wrong? This is a short. Okay. I can't remember. Well, okay. Okay, it was a short trade. Something a little outside of my category. I'm not very green on the day, and so it flushes down. I mean, oh my goodness, what a beautiful trade! Look at that. Let's see that one more time. I'm short because I think there's a bit of a head and shoulder on the 1 minute. And look at the breakdown. Absolutely beautiful. if you are new to the markets and you're now seeing this for the first time, this is called short selling. You can essentially buy a stock and say, hey, I think it's going to go down instead of going up. It's something you can do. It's a little bit more risky than, buying for stocks to go higher, because you could technically lose an unlimited amount of money. If the stock continues to go and go and go, there's no limit as to what you can lose, versus if you're trading long, if you're buying for the stock to go up, if it goes to zero, then you're now at zero. You can no longer lose money. But if you're shorting a stock and it just keeps going, like, HKD, not to get too much off topic here of the recap, but I think this is worth mentioning. If you go to HKD, right, we can do some math here too. HKD recently is a stock that went from a low of $12, kid you not, to a high of $2,555.30. If you decided to short 1,000 shares at $12, let's do the math. If you decided to short 1,000 shares at $12 and the stock goes to that high of $25.55, so $25.55 minus $12 is, $2,543 against you, right? So 1,000 shares, 2,543, geez. Times that 1,000 shares, right? Now, times that 1,000 shares, that's $2.5 million that you would potentially be in the red. Now, if you do the math, 1,000 shares at $12 is $12,000, right? Your $12,000 turned into a losing trade of $2.5 million. When if you're going long and the stock goes to zero, you lose 12,000. So that is the risk of potentially going short. If just in case there's a few new people watching on. So this was a short trade. I forgot it was a short trade. I thought it was. Maybe I bought the dip, but you see, now I remember, of course. But yeah, so that was a beautiful trade. Unfortunately, it followed with a loss. I got back in short again, and I got stopped out. So, and am I even looking at the right? Why is this? Well, I never realized they would show this like this. Wow, it makes sense. I never realized they show these trades like this. They're showing it as if I bought at 32 and sold it at 49. When, I guess if I'm looking at it coming up, if I'm looking at it going down, it makes sense. But this list starts down up, buying 15, selling at 17. Bit of a technicality, not anything to think too much about though. So, yeah, VERU, we continue once again. Don't forget to paint the picture in your head. So, keep the charting in mind. We dip here, we curl back up. And, I tried to buy pullbacks as best as I can. I believe right here I got stopped out. It is what it is. And on this huge incline, there was only one entry that I saw, which was around, I believe, 705. It consolidated between 05 and 14 over here, between these two candles for a split second. That was my entry for this big move, and I didn't take it. I didn't think it was going to be strong. I was very, very surprised that it broke the highs of 85, 88, and even made a move to 7. So I was surprised, and it just kept going. And I didn't trust it to buy high. It wasn't worth the scalps. And that was the day. This was a great call out for a short trade right here. If you watch the live stream, I mentioned it. Didn't take it. Thought that I was content on the day, and I was. And we ended up pulling back. as the guys are home and the noise is here. What time is it? It is 5:13. You know, I gotta stop doing the recap so late. You know, these guys are coming home. Maybe I gotta aim for 4 p.m. But yeah, that's pretty much the day, man. You know, that was it. It's a pretty decent day. Imagine trying to trade with that noise during COVID every day. Oh man, I don't. For those of you who are here every day, ay. At least now we don't have to. You know, at least I should say I don't have to really deal with it until 5 p.m. Siblings, I tell you. But you know, at one point, my older brothers were working, and I was doing the same thing. So, you know, I guess it's good. Good payback. So, guys, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. It's been Relentless Trader. Let's get out of here. 15 minutes already in. This is a quick video, quick recap. I'll let you guys go. Enjoy the rest of the evening. I gotta fix the lighting on this webcam. I'm looking a little purple here. Not good. Okay, we'll deal with that later. Take it easy, guys. Stay safe, stay green. It's been RT, and I am, of course, signing out.